Well, I was wondering when you get around to that question. Obviously it's unanswerable, and I'm not going to answer it in a minute and a half at noon on a website. I do recommend, however, enormously the movie The Tree of Life, which I've seen recently. I mean, apart from In Great Silence, that amazing documentary by Philip Groening about the monastery of Chartreuse in the Alps, which is a documentary, of course. What The Tree of Life does, I think, in quite staggering ways, using the specific medium of film, is to somehow relate the trivial and inconsequential moods, feelings, and idiosyncrasies of a family in Waco, Texas in the 1950s. Especially, I think, evoking the joys and mysteries of childhood quite luminously. And managing somehow in the same movie to connect those tiny, minuscule, microscopic specks of insignificance in the history of the universe with the whole universe and maybe other universes, to leap from blades of grass to supernovae, to go from images of the Hubble telescope down to middle-class tragedy in Texas at a particular moment in time, and to show that somehow through this tragedy, through this awful event in a family's life, that somehow nonetheless they are redeemed, that the way they've loved one another, the way they relate to one another, without in any way detracting from their flaws, their pride, their anger, their negligence, their stupidity, but to fill them and their lives with the grace of God. To achieve that, sometimes, and for large sections of this movie without words at all, had me transfixed. It really is a great work of Christian art. And it is so wonderful to see that kind of thing being produced in the context of today's cramped and neurotic fundamentalism. I mean, there's a huge journey between the Passion of the Christ and the Tree of Life, and it really is one from darkness to light. And it's brilliant and exciting filmmaking, and Netflix it, rent it, watch it. Take your time. I mean, I think it's 3 hours. It didn't seem it to me. It just zipped by. Obviously not everybody's cup of tea. I've yet to persuade Aaron to sit down with me and watch it. But soul-inspiring, lung-filling, gorgeous art.